On May 27, 2020, a crop circle appeared at Pottern Field, near Devizes, Wiltshire. It quickly became known as the COVID-19 crop circle, as it bears such a striking resemblance to a virus, and because the world is currently in the grip of this awful pandemic. As is typical in the crop circle world, the formation was almost immediately dismissed as a man-made creation. But the quality of the laid crop, which appears completely undamaged, and full of beautiful swirls and eddies suggested otherwise. Then in early November, it came to my attention that a retired professor of psychology, Dr. Jerry Croft, had conducted an enormous amount of research on this particular formation and had published a book on his findings. I caught up with Dr. Croft to find out more.
So I was done with the book, somewhat exhausted, and said, I'm not even going to look at 2020 crop circles. I'm taking a break and I'm doing something else. But then I thought I'd take a peek of Lucy Pringle's stuff on the crop circle connector. And I'm scrolling through them, and then I see this that looks like a splat of a crop circle. And I said, that sure looks like the coronavirus, doesn't it? And I thought, well, maybe I should get interested. And that was the only one in 2020 that I felt some kind of hint that maybe I could understand this. So I looked up what are those things that on the corona of the virus? They're called spike proteins. Oh, and I say, well, there are 9 spike proteins here.
This image shows an accurate representation of COVID-19. Notice that there are 9 spiked proteins, shown here in purple, and 3 smaller envelope proteins shown here in blue. Looking at the COVID crop circle, we can also see that there are 9 spikes on the outside, but one of them has been enlarged. We'll come back to that in a few moments. On the perimeter of the inner circle, we can see 3 small protrusions, which have been taken to represent the 3 envelope proteins. Clearly, if this is a man-made creation, then it seems we are dealing with people that know a lot about science. But the accuracy doesn't stop there. On the inside of every living cell there are exactly 3 types of RNA, which work together to create large ribosomal amino acids and proteins. Looking at the center of the crop circle, we can see 3 small circles, which have been taken to represent the 3 types of RNA, and 3 larger circles, which have been taken to represent their ribosomal offshoots.
So inside the body of the virus are 3 little things and 3 big things. What are the 3 little things? So I went back and started researching about the virus. What's inside the body of the virus? Messenger RNA. That's what's inside the body of the virus. And messenger RNA has 3 letters. I said, oh my God.
So far we have identified that this crop circle has all the elements that make up the COVID-19 virus, the RNA in the action of creating ribosomal amino acids. The 3 envelope proteins identified as the 3 small protrusions and 9 spike proteins. In actuality, the virus has thousands of these tiny spike proteins, but in the virology literature small numbers, such as 9, are used to simplify the illustration. But what about the enlarged spike protein? What does this signify?
But what is that blob at the bottom? I turned it around, maybe you could say it's at the top. What is that? And what are those 8 little things inside that blob? Well, those are called spike proteins. All right, but why is this one so much bigger and so much longer? And then I thought, wait a second, that's a magnification of a single spike protein. Whoever made this crop circle wants us to concentrate on one spike protein. That's why it is so big. So I got so excited that spike protein 8 is the one spike protein that actually increases our immune system response against the virus. It has this unusual quality that it sort of defeats the virus by inspiring our immune system to get into gear.
The recent development of the vaccines for this virus are all using technology involving messenger RNA to trick our immune systems into producing antibodies. It is not yet known if the key to this development of these vaccines specifically involved spike protein 8, as this is proprietary knowledge. However, we do know that these vaccines work by sneaking synthetic messenger RNA into the body, which contains information about the coronavirus's signature spike protein. Could it be that the crop circle was trying to point us toward this particular spike protein as the key to creating a vaccine? Or is it perhaps suggesting that this particular spike protein is the key to finding ways to naturally boost our immune systems to beat the virus? As the rollout of the vaccine begins and more information becomes available, we will continue with this investigation to see if there really is a connection to this crop circle. The one thing that does seem quite certain, though, is that if this is a man-made formation, then the people responsible have a serious understanding of virology and have enough time on their hands to go out into the fields in total darkness to create this formation. Or maybe there's another explanation. For Against the Grain, Gary King.